This is the 105 leFH18B2. It's the French Tier 5 Premium SPG. We're located on the south spawn of El Hanouf under the command of ProvoBob of 1AR, and he's got binos as one of his pieces of equipment. Game on! Okay, we've got two replays from ProvoBob. One of them is an absolute doozy, and this one, of course, which is a bit of fun. He's in the Fifi, and he's got kangaroos on the side because, of course, ProvoBob is Australian. Okay, we're ready to go. He's dialed in on the corner, right at the north-west corner of the map, where we're expecting an enemy tank to pop up there, but not before one of them gets spotted somewhere at the other road junction at A2. Enemy tank has popped up on the other side of the map, and we're getting requested for fire support. But we're still focused on this spot, and in fact the enemy Wolverine got taken out by an M10. Well, I suppose that's symmetry really. They're both M10s. Okay, any second now we should get sight of an enemy tank. And in fact we've spotted two. There's a Chaffee in the centre of the valley and a T-34 up on the northwest corner. But we're looking for our Panzer IV Aslains S5 to spot somebody. He doesn't. And it looks like that T-34 went down into the dip, but it hasn't helped him a lot. Enemy tanks have turned up in the northwest corner, but as I suggested, they probably on that corner A2 first. Now he can get the shells that far if he picks the right spot to dial in. Unfortunately, it's not working, so instead he's going to go for the Churchill 3. Rounds out. Yes, he gets a hit with the first shot for 102. And we see that T1 Heavy crossing the gap, so more than likely he's going to be coming to the corner we were first looking at a while back. And if that Panzer IV F5 stays there, then he can actually support him and take out the T1 Heavy. Guy's just got to come around the corner first. Now, many of you might know that the Fifi La Pew Pew, the 105 leFH18B2, was one of only two premium SPGs in the game until recently. Wargaming brought the Sexton 1 and of course the PP into the game, but now they've actually created something which is a representation of the band cannon. It's a Swedish tier 8 premium tank, Arty, and it's going to be on console. Things that go on console usually end up in the PC game eventually. So this does bode well. It makes me realise that maybe Wargaming's been listening to us after all, and they've now realised that yes, they could be selling a fortune in premium SPGs if only they'd actually put them in the game. They won't all be in the game at the same time. That's the thing. So when you're selling premium SPGs, you can control how many go in the game. Wargaming can set the parameters of the matchmaker to only get certain numbers in. But the fact of the matter is that they need more premium SPG in the game, mainly just to counter the Fifi. Because of course the Fifi is very good, but we need a premium SPG that can balance against it. Now we've had Arty in the game before with autoloaders, and in fact the band cannon could fire 12 shells from a magazine. The one they put in the game on console only has 3 shells, and that's very similar to the Batchat 155-58. So it might just be that when the premium tier 8 goes in, that they create it to fire only 3. Lined up, rounds out, and oh, just missed. He's letting it settle before he shoots. Fires around in, expecting the guy to pull back, and he does pull back. And he got a fire, and that blew the thing apart. So, yep, he set light to him. He got a penetrating shot, and then the fire finished him off. Now we've got this AMX-13 FL11. That shot didn't work. He just needs to relax a little. Oh, that was very close. He's jerking a lot over the screen. That's why I'm thinking he needs to relax just a little bit. Now, as far as we can tell, there's nobody between us and the enemy at the moment. And they might be coming towards us at this very moment from the north. ProvoBob's decided he's going to get into these bushes and spot. He's got a view range of 390 meters, so if the enemy gets close enough, he should be able to spot them. He is also very deadly at close range. The 105mm shells are capable of 410 alpha, and they'll penetrate 53mm of armor, so they could go through the front of some tanks. There's a Semivente and a Churchill 1 that might be making their way around this route at this moment. On the other hand, it's just as possible that they might be headed back to their own cap area because they realized they're in trouble. But no, it's actually the T-67 that's in trouble because he's got virtually no armor. Oh, that was close and damaged him badly. And I think the T-67 ducked into cover quickly because he realized the next shot could take him out. He's going to be a little more cautious now. Okay, the Semivente and the Churchill 1 have been spotted. And in fact, the Semivente is in deep trouble. And he's gone. Difficult shot on the Churchill 1. No, it didn't work. Okay, I think we're going to have to focus on that T-67. He's probably trying to sneak up on us as quickly as he can. Using all the bushes and everything. We really need the M10 RBFM to come back. There is the T-67. He did try to sneak up and he's found us. But he also takes a round from us and he fires one 76mm round into us. And I think we damaged him badly because his next shot was fairly slow. But we could go down if we are not careful. Can we get another reload? Yeah, that's what we needed. We took 3 rounds from the enemy and lost more than 2/3 of our hit points. We're down to 7 hit points now. But we are still alive. And we're just trying to work out where the Churchill 1 is now. Now, we also, so far, managed to get at least 2 kills. So, potentially, we've got a Stark's medal on the board. In fact, it did flash up, Stark's medal. So, I think that says that the computer indicates that we've earned a medal at least. Only remaining enemy is the Churchill 1. And according to the scoreboard, he's got 223 hit points. He might even have less, actually. Remember, we did fire at him. And I guess the feeling is that he's in the corner at this moment. He's trying to hide. Got plenty of time to hunt him down. 6 minutes on the game so far to go. They haven't found him. Is this Churchill 1 going to be a contender for the best hide-and-seek candidate? Of course, as you all know, the T95 was the champion in the hide-and-seek stakes. He managed to hide for nearly, was it 25 years, 26 years in a bush. When he was finally discovered, he was restored and is now sitting at Fort Moore in Georgia. Perfectly restored. Okay, so we can say the Churchill one is very good at hiding. Best thing for us to do right now will be actually to move down into the valley and try and go up the other side and get to the cap area and start capping. I get the feeling the Churchill one might be laying in ambush, and if the M10 RBFM starts taking damage, then he's probably firing from a bush somewhere nearby. Now, from our current position, we should be able to hit just about anywhere on the map. Waiting for somebody to spot him. Somebody's going to have to go into the cap, though. ProvoBob saying capture the base. And they found him. And there he is. Okay, first is a bit of a snapshot. But it was in the vicinity. And the next shot should kill him. Rounds out. And it does! It's an engine deck hit. And that wins the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a third-class tanker for ProvoBob 1AR in the Fifi La Pew Pew. He managed to get an arsonist for setting light to one of the enemy tanks and watching it burn up. That was the AMX 13, was it the... No, it was the other one, wasn't it? It was the one up on high. It was the M10 RBFM. He also managed to get a Bruce medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8, and he did get the Starks medal for taking out at least 2 enemy tanks. Losing 2/3 of his hit points, receiving at least 2 shots from the enemy, and surviving the battle. His win rate was 4,180, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage in this game. No, that actually went to the T14. He managed to get 1,335 hit points of damage. Second place went to the KV1, 1,334 hit points. And the third highest was the Semavente on the enemy team with 1,326 hit points. So all very close together. ProvoBob got 1,317. And that, funnily enough, makes him 4th place when it comes to damage. When it comes to kill, though, he shares the second spot because the top scorer was the Semavente on the enemy team. He got 5 kills in that one. 3 kills went to ProvoBob and the M10 RBFM on his team. And 2 kills went to the AT2, the Stuttgart Ausrungi, and the Churchill 3 and M10 RBFM on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he's in 2nd place because the T14 managed to get 779. Then we got ProvoBob with 743, and finally the M10 RBFM with 723. He fired only 22 rounds, which means he had plenty of ammo left over at the end of that game. In fact, 28 rounds spare. 7 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, the M10 RBFM, and 10 splash. Damage of 1,317 hit points, of which 847 were at more than 300 meters. The other damage, of course, was on the T67. 3 hits received, all from the T67. All 3 penetrated, and 1 enemy vehicle was spotted. That was, I think, the T67. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged and 3 killed. And he earned 31,915 credits profit from the game and 6,020 experience points, including getting a mission completion of 4,480. So, 4,460, sorry. So first game's actually a very good one. It just shows that if you keep plugging away, you will get there. That T67, well, he was very unlucky not to take him out with the first shot because T67s really don't have much in the way of armor, so the first shot should have gone straight through the guy and completely wiped him out, but sadly it didn't. So yes, it turned into a bit of a slugfest after that, but he won the day and got a last shot right on the engine deck of that Churchill to finish him off. Let's have a look at his second game, and you'll really enjoy this one. The second replay is on the cliff map. He's on the north spawn, and he's still in the PP and has binos as his equipment. Well, his camo's changed slightly. Well, it's not desert on this one, is it? So let's see how he does. This is a tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks in it. And I think you might notice that actually ProvoBob is blue. Yes, sometimes he does go blue because he hits his own teammates by accident, not on purpose, but sometimes the system records it as if he is on purpose. He isn't really trying to kill his teammates, but he is blue, I'm afraid, yes. Anyway, let's see how he does. Okay, it's a good place to start. I approve of this position. Enemy in sight, headed straight for the center. It fires a snap right in there for the ARL V39, who supposedly should be there. Instead, this G-News decided the suicidal run is better. That's good. It's not often you see a snapshot like that actually work. He wasn't fully dialed in, but he certainly made it work. Unfortunately, our BT decided that he wanted to go all in, and it didn't work. Well, that was a direct hit. Standard reload 8.92 seconds. He's got 7.63. Oh, he got another direct hit. Now, this KV-1SA could be chancing his arm, because if he keeps doing that, he's going to get hit. Like that. 157 hit points. Do you want to repeat? No, he pulls back into cover. Oh, we've got somebody interesting here. A Covenanter has decided to hide behind the rocks and see if he can spot us. The enemy Arty, by the way, is an SU-122. Oh, he's just got another one. He creamed him. He only got a fraction of the visible, the hull visible, but he still managed to put the round exactly where it needed to go. And now he's got another victim here ready. The Skoda T24. If you stay there, yeah, you are going straight back to the garage. That was a penetrating shot, low roll, or at least it appeared to be. Give it another go. Same spot. Oh, he's pulled back. Yeah, he didn't like it. He made the wise choice, actually. If you have been badly hit like that, don't stick around because you will die. Rounds out. You could say I'm giving hints to the enemy what to do, but most of these tank drivers are too silly to actually... Too silly, too stupid to actually realise that we're giving them good advice. Rounds out. Good shot. Only hit the frontal armor though, but that Junu's showing his posterior to us. He's waving it at us almost, you might say. And that's an invitation. We'll definitely give him some surprise, you know, thingy-me-what that Jingles mentions. All around the houses, but none directly on the target. His shells are landing all around that tank. Oh, that one hit him. That finally hit the mark. I think RNG was just sending the shells anywhere but to exactly where we wanted them to go. Give it another go. He's still there. And that didn't work. So we've gone instead back to the Skoda, who's defending that corner, and then he's now dead. A shell hit him and wiped him out. Now, what have we got here? We've got a KV-1SA. That's the guy who captured the West Pass. 88 sitting out in the open, thinking that's clever. Of course, it's not going to work, and he takes a direct hit. I've noticed that ProvoBob does have some heat rounds. Now might be the time to load them because he's got a Porlac tank there. Now, Porlac tanks do have fairly good armor at the front, but if you plant a few heat rounds in, they will fall apart. Instead, he's looking at this AMX CLC. It's a Juno trying to go up to the top of the hill, the lighthouse. Unfortunately, we just can't see him at the moment, so we're guessing where he is. And in fact, he killed him with a blind shot. Juno is no more. Blind shot kill. And the M6 is now one shot. Oh, if only we can land this one on his engine deck. He is going to expire very quickly. No, it's hitting the rock every time, but it's not hitting the M6. One more shot. It's all that's necessary. And he finally gets it. Okay, the AMX is in the open, but so is this KB1SA. I think the KB1SA makes a better bang. The AMX CLC has been wiped out, so we don't need to worry about him. But this guy, oh, he's gone. We're 5 tanks up on the enemy. The battle is definitely going our way. Now, there's definitely still an 88 and a Porlac tank somewhere around here. There's the Porlac. And he gets a direct hit, but only 96 hit points. I'd say load up that heat, and this guy will certainly feel the difference. The 88 is actually making short work of some of our defenders. This is how you do it. You just keep pummeling them. But here comes that Porlac, and ideally we need to use a heat round on him. We've still got 11 rounds of standard HE. But that missed, and the Porlac's gone. But now we can use the rounds we've got on this 88. There's only 5 enemies left. Load the heat. That landed short. He's got what's called target fixation. He's so fixed on this target, he's totally ignoring the ammo that he's got available. And finally, the 88 does go down. The enemy Arty's just come into sight. Now he's going to have to let that dial in. Oh, he's now one shot. Only 13 hit points. The next strike's going to kill him. Rounds out. Oh, so close. His system is telling him that he's being attacked by Arty. And that is the shot that gets him a Top Gun and kills the Su-122A. And that means now there's only 3 enemies remaining. Up here we've got the Stugdei Aslains. Down below we've got the Flak Panzer, and on the corner of the Western Pass we've got an ARL V39. We can't see him at the moment because he's in a hidden position or covered position, sitting behind the rocks, but we can certainly hit this Stug. And it's a long range shot, so it takes the shells a fair amount of time, 3.6 seconds to arrive. And he creamed that guy. That's his 7th kill, and that was the end of the game, so no Radley Walters. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first class tank for ProvoBob, a 1AR in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 16 in this one, and he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he got 7. It was one short of getting a Radley Walters, but sadly the other enemy tank had already been wiped out. His win rate from that battle, 6,305, which is Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at his team score. Well, he definitely got the 2nd highest damage in the game, because the M6 on the enemy team managed 2,204 hit points of damage in that one. 2nd highest damage was ProvoBob with 2,047. And the 3rd highest damage in the game, well, that turned out to be the AMX CLC Biz on his own team with 1,436. When it came to kills, he definitely had the highest number of those. 7 kills went to ProvoBob, 3 kills went to the AMX CLC Biz, and 2 kills went to the KB1SA and Porlac tank on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he definitely got that one. 1,070 went to ProvoBob. He's the only one to get over 1,000. Next highest is the ELC, who managed 973. And the third highest was the KV1SA with 743. So, yes, he did very well, except for the hit points where the M6 seemed to get the better of him on that one. He fired 44 rounds. He only had 6 rounds left, 1 HE and 5 heat rounds. So if he had used the heat rounds, yes, it would have cost him a few on credits, but he certainly would have nailed those enemy tanks faster, tanks like the Porlak. And if he actually had killed the Porlak, if he'd been the killer, then I think he would have got the Radleys. 17 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 22 splash. Now, which ones do we think that he actually did penetrate? Well, I'm pretty certain that one of the ones he smacked was a penetrating shot. I don't think it was the Covenanter, but actually it was. Yes, even though there was a tiny bit of armor open to him, he actually managed to get straight through it and kill the guy. And the other one that he managed to penetrate, I think that may have been either the M6. No, it wasn't that one either. Or the Skoda. Yes, he hit that guy more than once. In fact, the one when he was up on the rise, trying to get up to the top of the hill, I think he penetrated him then, but he actually finished him off on the ground while he was moving about. And yes, that was the shot, the blind shot that got him in the end. 12 enemy vehicles were damaged, 7 were killed. So close to getting a Radley's. He actually ended up with 40,384 credits for the game and 8,667 experience points out of it as well, including getting a mission completion reward of 6,420. If only that Porlak tank had been his. Yep, he did damage the guy, but if he'd used the heat round, that would have been his 8th kill, then he would have had the Radleys. So close, so close. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And we're going to have another Fifi game coming up very shortly. And I think that one is even better than ProvoBob's, if you can imagine that. It's also on the cliff map, would you believe it, as well. So I can't wait to see that one. Thank you for watching.